What's good, YouTube? So we're going to talk a little bit about entrepreneurship today. I know a lot of you are looking to break into entrepreneurship, especially online entrepreneurship, making money on the internet. People call it Wi-Fi money, escaping the matrix, whatever that means. But essentially, the whole point of this video is for me to explain to you my journey on making my first $10,000 online. It was a very quick process. It took less than 2 months to make my first $1,000. And then from there, it was a snowball effect, right? So I'll walk you through my story, then I'll get into how you can replicate that story for yourself if you're looking to start your own online business, service-based business specifically. And why should you listen to me? Well, I have a lot of experience in building a tech startup that was venture backed, right? Raising money for a tech startup, so an institution itself, working with different people, working with co-founders, hiring employees. Like I've had that, but I've also had the online entrepreneurship experience where I built a lead gen agency with two of my friends, and we scaled that to over 6 figures in the span of a couple months. I can walk through that story in another video, but with this video specifically, I want to talk about my fitness coaching business that I had started. So I was just coming off of my tech startup that had failed. We ended up losing a lot of contracts. We ended up just breaking down as a team, and so we discontinued. This was before a really big fundraise that we were trying to do. We are trying to raise $1 million for a pre-seed round. If you guys don't know what that is, that's basically like an initial round of funding before you actually take off and commercialize your product. But long story short, that didn't go through. Fell into a depressive spiral, didn't want to go into like building a new big team again and trying to go for a big idea. I was like, let me start a lifestyle business. So I started looking at the online space, and the one thing that I noticed was, okay, fitness was something that I was doing for the last 10 years. I had a lot of people who were, asking me for advice. I would train people in person. How could I do this online? I didn't have much money at the time because obviously my tech startup went under, wasn't getting paid anymore, ran out of money. And so I was kind of desperate. So I reached out to an online fitness business coach to help show me the process of how to do this, right? I paid $6,000. Um, I paid it in installments, of course, but like I didn't really have that at the time. So I had to pull out a credit card or get a credit card to try to use it. And I was panicking. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. This is a huge investment. I just going crazy, right? Made the investment after our sales call and got started immediately. Now, what I learned through this process was incredible. Through putting together these systems, through understanding how to like respond to people, how to turn, like likes, views, engagement on social media into sales calls and turning those sales calls into clients, I was able to like literally make my first $10,000 in the first 2 months, actually less than that, right? And so I give you this story because anybody can do it under any framework that they want. So if you want to get into fitness, for example, like I had to look at my assets that I had, right? I was in incredible shape. People were asking me about it. I was pretty well versed in business, so I could have done business coaching, but I didn't want to do that yet because I didn't have enough experience to do it. I did have experience, but it was imposter syndrome. I'm like, I haven't had an exit, so there's no way I can teach someone else how to start a business. But here I am teaching y'all how to do it. So let's go through how you can do this for yourself, because that's really why you watch this video, right? And for me, during that process, I was getting client after client after client. My first offer that I had, I was charging people $1,000 for 3 months, right? That scaled quickly to now I'm charging $3,600 for 6 months or $2,400 for 3 months. So quickly increased my prices, but initially what you want to do is you want to find the asset that you have. So maybe you are really good at, sending emails, right? For email marketing. You can start an email marketing agency or an email marketing service. You can start a fitness coaching business because you know how to get in shape. You've gotten yourself in shape and you know how to replicate that with other people. You can also get into anything. Think about any skill that you have that somebody would pay for. You have knowledge that people want to pay for. So you need to be able to package that up into a service that you can provide to other people. We're talking service-based, not just information that you sell through an ebook, but like an actual service that you provide. So what you would do is you would create an offer around this. And the offer basically is you're selling the result of that thing. So I'll give you fitness coaching, for example. You can kind of mirror this with any other industry that you're in. But you would say, hey, look, I can get you in the best shape of your life, looking as confident as possible, being able to actually see your feet, right? Like your stomach won't be able to protrude so that you can't see your feet. Just selling the result of what somebody wants, right? Building confidence. A lot of people, they try to sell the process. You don't want to ever sell the process in the offer. You want to sell the solution. So if it's lead gen, for example, which is what I did, you would say, hey, I can get you 20 booked appointments on your calendar every single week. That's a lot, by the way. For the price of X, Y, and Z, or for the investment of X, Y, and Z. That's an offer, right? With the guarantee that if we don't do that, then we continue to work with you for free until you get there. Same thing with fitness, right? Can help you lose 20 pounds, finally start fitting in your clothes and be as confident as ever in 90 days or less, or I keep working with you for free until you do, right? So I can help you do X, Y, and Z in this time frame, give a time frame, and then you basically say with the guarantee of if you don't get there by that time frame, I either keep working with you for free until you get there, or I refund you your money. Why don't I ever say I refund you your money? Because you have to understand, especially when you're dealing with people with more money, they care more about time than money. So you don't want to waste people's time, right? So you want to know, they want to know that you're actually invested and that you're able to give your time up if that does not occur, if the results don't occur. I'm assuming that you actually know how to deliver on the service and the results will actually show up. You just need more people. All right. So now this is just a high level of how to create an irresistible offer. You've created the offer, everything's done. Now you're ready to go market, right? So the thing that people don't understand is social media is a powerful tool. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or X, TikTok, these are all channels that you can start broadcasting what you do. So what you want to do is you want to find pain points for your ideal customer. So think about your ideal customer. So for example, with fitness, it could be entrepreneurs that are busy, super skinny, and they want to build muscle and they're struggling with time, right? That is a very niche audience that you can speak to. You can also speak to um, mothers who have just had their first child who are looking to basically bounce back from the weight that they've gained in pregnancy, right? Mothers over the age of 30. Like very, very specific audience, right? So find what your offer is, find a specific audience. If it's lead gen, for example, it is tech companies that have raised over $1 million that, are now looking to acquire their first 10 business to business customers, right? Enterprise customers. Be as specific as you can of the situation. Now you have to go find where those people live, right? So for example, if it's fitness coaching, I would go on Instagram, or I would go now on YouTube, right? Or I would go on X, on Twitter. Find where your audience is. If it's entrepreneurs, you're probably going to find them on LinkedIn. You're going to find them on Twitter or X, right? You might find them also on Instagram. Once you find the channel, understand the content that actually converts on that channel. If it's Twitter or X, it's going to be written content, right? You're going to have to know how to write really good posts. If it's Instagram, it's reels. You're going to have to know how to post engaging reels that can capture attention. The game now in online entrepreneurship is capturing attention and turning that attention into dollars. That is literally the whole game of online entrepreneurship. Or you can also, and sending emails, right? Cold emails are still trying to capture attention to then convert that attention to a sales call to then turn that sales call into a client, right? So now that you've found the right place, so let's go with fitness coaching because that's the trend right now that we've been going after. So fitness coaching, you're looking for entrepreneurs who are skinny and they need, they're strapped for time. You would do LinkedIn and let's say you do Instagram, right? So now all of the posts that you create have to be tailored towards the pain points that they have. Like talk about being busy, right? The other thing too that I like to mention about finding your target audience, always find the person who you used to be that wants to be where you're at now. That is literally the best way to create the best offer and the best business in online entrepreneurship. So for me, for example, I used to be the skinny kid that didn't get as much attention in high school or in college, right? And so I will market to those same people, or I'll market to skinny people who are looking to build muscle. I won't target people who are overweight because I was never overweight, so I can't relate to them, so I don't understand their pain points specifically, right? So make sure that you're marketing it to previous people. If it's for example, email marketing, if it's you're targeting e-com founders or e-com CEOs, e-commerce CEOs, well, you would have potentially had to be an e-commerce CEO yourself that found out how to actually successfully do email marketing to be able to really like touch the pain points of that specific audience, right? So once you get that taken care of, that is the target audience side. Now you're going to start creating content around the pain points, right? Create engaging content. Look at different types of trends of content that's blowing up, replicate it into informational yet entertaining content. The thing is, you want to position yourself as a leader, an industry leader, or just an overall expert in what you're doing. And the way you do that is by creating real content, not TikTok dances of you doing crazy things or random. Post real content around what you have, right? Now that you're doing that, you're going to start generating a lot of traffic on social media. Once you start generating the right traffic of the people who actually like the content, which are the people you're marketing to, you're now going to want to take anybody who engages, they like, they comment, whatever that looks like, go into the DMs and start asking them questions. A basic framework is, hey, uh, hey, Nick, right? I'm just gonna use Nick as an example. If your name is Nick, you're welcome. Hey, Nick, I saw that you had recently engaged in my post. I'm curious, how did you find me? Right? Just get them to respond. You want responses. Once they respond, how they found you, then you want to go into, oh, cool. Well, what are some challenges that you're facing right now in X, Y, and Z, right? Or what are some of the fitness goals you're currently working on right now? They tell you what their goals are. So actually start with goals, right? So what is X goal that you're looking for right now, right? Then once they tell you the goal, say, hey, okay, that's a great goal. What are some challenges that you've been going through right now with achieving that goal? They tell you exactly what their challenges are. Now you tailor your service to that challenge. So if they say, hey, I'm struggling gaining weight right now, I'm super skinny, I'm not confident in my meetings that I'm going to. Oh, interesting, interesting. So how long have you been going through the process? Like, how long has that challenge been a thing? Oh, it's been a thing for like 3 to 4 years. Oh, wow, that's a long time. Have you ever worked with somebody, a coach, or an agency, if you're doing agency stuff, to be able to like help you get through that challenge? Oh no, I haven't. Or maybe I have, but it hasn't worked. Now you're just talking to them and you're explaining to them, well, I definitely have some advice for you if you're interested in learning more. You're selling the call. So anytime you're talking to somebody on the internet to try to sell them the business, you need to sell them the call. Because the call is where you pitch the business, not in the DMs or the messages. So you go in, you message them, and you tell them, hey, definitely would love to hop on the phone with you and just give you some advice if you're interested. If they ever ask you for a price for your service through the DMs, never give the price because you're selling a high ticket item. Without context around the price, it will seem too expensive and too irrelevant. So you want to make the relevancy clear before you then put the price, because that will basically anchor the price to what it should be, right, in the mind of the customer, potential customer. Anyway, so you go through that. Now you're gonna book the call. They're gonna say, hey, yeah, I'd love to get some advice from you. Everybody wants free stuff, right? They want a free call. Then you say, well, with this time, so you give them a time, you give them a date, whatever, and you say, hey, what's your email and your phone number so I can send you a calendar invite. Always do that. Never send a calendar booking request, because people are lazy. You want to be able to do everything for them up until the sales call. So make sure that you get their information. You can throw that into your email list as well. So now you now have somebody else that's evergreen for you. But that's the basics of how to actually get your first $10,000 from the internet. Price your service between $1,000 to $5,000, or do a monthly thing, whatever that looks like. But you want to be able to sell services that are over $1,000, because that's going to be worth your time. It's going to be worth your time on the calls, and it's going to be worth the value that you're providing, right? So this is my roadmap to quick roadmap, by the way, high level things. I can get into specific details of like different ways you can kind of position it, how you can actually fulfill on these services, the systems. But this was just a primer, an intro to how to make your first $10,000 online. If you actually follow this process and just plug in whatever offer you have or whatever you want to provide, you will hit $10,000 a lot faster than you think, because it's all about repetition. One thing that you have to understand with business, it's all about reps. It's all about volume. The more volume you put in, the better results. Alex Hormozy says this best. Put in a ton of value, you'll get a lot of results. You can measure the success of somebody's business based on the amount of conversations they have with people about their business. If you're not talking to people about your business enough, you're not going to get enough money coming in. So make sure that you're getting those conversations in. Make sure you're dialed in on your content. Make sure that you know exactly who you're marketing to, so that way your content can resonate with them. And in no time, you will make your first $10,000. And I say 10,000 because that just seems to be what everybody aims for at first. It sounds like a cute, pretty number. So get there first, and then we can talk about scale. But this is your intro. This is just a roadmap on how you can get to your first $10,000 and how I did as well for myself. I use this exact same framework. So again, if you like this, if you found value in this, comment, subscribe, like, share with other friends. We're building a community here. Big thing for me, man. I just want to help men be able to make more money, be able to get in really, really elite shape, and improve their mindset, and tap into their spirituality, and actually like have a well-rounded life. So if that's something you want, subscribe, because we're going to be talking about this all the time. There's a video a day, just talking about different topics. But I really enjoyed this, guys, and hope to see you on the next video. Have a good one.